Actually, I've been using this Suzuki SJ413 Jimny, predecessor of the Samurai, every day. I think it's been pretty damn stone cold reliable, man. Pretty good on fuel too. So, glad I bought this thing about 30 years ago. Yeah, I bought it in 1987, 2 years old. 30 years I had this damn thing, man. God, never think I'd have it that long. So anyway, pull it out of here. Actually, I dug down a little deeper. I don't know if I want to do this, but if I ever put bigger tires on, it can fit in this place, no problem. You know, without hitting the roof. Or if I got to jack it up, that might be the more apt thing to do. Put the old man emu springs on there, or whatever the hell you call those damn things. Just a 2-inch lift. That'd be about it. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but if I do, I got room. And this puppy's just got a manual choke right here. Probably see it. Not much to it, man. Always do that because it's the other way around, man. That's the wipers on a regular car. We got the angle head mil spec flashlight in here, which clips on there. And we got the knife I was talking about. So this thing is actually pretty freaking slick, man. I'm pretty surprised it's been holding up very well since I kind of went over it. Anyway, yeah, I got my oil change stuff, getting rid of some of it. Sometimes I keep some of these extra old jugs on hand because you can use that used oil sometimes for some applications where you don't need new oil. And of course we got the trash back here. So this thing, man, this hardtop was one of the best, smartest things I ever got too, man. Which you can see you got it bolted in there, plus it's riveted in there too. So this is an adjuster, but it's also got rivets. So it's in there. Excuse me, I think it's up in here someplace. There's some rivets too. But that thing, it's got a turnbuckle adjuster, which with the what do you call that stuff? I forgot what you call it now. It's a sealer. It's actually under here too. Strip caulking. All the strip caulking that's in here and all around here, it's all crushed down. So this thing, even with these side curtains on it, it's pretty freaking warm in here when the heat gets going. It's not too bad. Today it's kind of warm. It's down in Florida. Just open up the side curtain. I mean, I think I got about the only half door side curtain Suzuki in the whole freaking country that's factory stock. I know they make them aftermarket, but I don't think anybody's got one of these damn things around here anywhere. That's a factory half door. They didn't have those in the Samurai. This was the pre-edition Jimny 1300, actually Asian model. Exactly the same as the Samurai, except a little skinnier. But this thing, man, I had this thing goddamn 30 years now, so been using it every day, man. I've been surprised, man. It's been reliable as all hell. And the other thing is too, it's really easy to get that thing up. I got 2 pairs of these Rhino ramps. They're rated for way over what that Jeep is. These are USA Rhino ramps, and I keep them down here in this thing. I ever got to get underneath there. Usually you got plenty of room anyway, but you drive it up on these things, man. You got the whole thing jacked up, I don't know, about 12 inches. So that's another beauty of freaking Jeeps, man. Well, it's a Samurai, but whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. People are too much of yuppies, man, today. That thing's outlasted a lot of freaking bullshit other cars, I could tell you, and I think it's going to go for another 50 years easy. Yeah, and actually, this is how I put my tires on with that thing right here. There's the tire changer, and right down here with that metal, you can see down there, that's the tire balancer. So I don't spend squat, man. I just go buy my own tires off of eBay, and you know, usually, I don't know, discount tires, some Firestone Winter Force, slap them on yourself, man. Balance them yourself. it's pretty easy to back up into that thing too. You can hear my locker clicking. It don't ever give me trouble though, because put that royal purple oil in it. You can hear it if it's backing up right now. Maybe you'll hear it. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Can't do this with one hand, more or less, but you don't really hear it. You really don't hear it. That's because nobody knows about putting the right kind of oil in those things. The lockers, man. You always hear, like, especially something this lightweight, you'll hear about just the manual steering, man. See this? So I'm not sure about putting big tires on this sucker, man. The hell with that crap. Might jack it up 2 inches, but that's about it. Yeah, so it's parked. It's in the garage. So, I tell you, man, you know, camera jumping around here a little bit, but whatever. What do you expect, man? I'm an amateur. But, yeah, I have no problem with the locker, man. The locker's no problem at all. Doesn't jump around. A lot of them you hear when you're going down the road, they go, you hear the rear end go like this, boop, boop. Or you hear it skipping when you're making the tight turns in the parking lot. You'll hear the tires chirp. I just hear a little click, click ratchet thing once in a while. That's all I hear. It's like no problem at all. So there's my extra fuel with the additive in it and stuff like that. So, and this thing came in handy too, putting these lights on the front of it, because this thing is so skinny when you're going down the road, the cars think you're a lot further away at nighttime, and because they only see your headlights, so they think you're further away, and they pull right out in front of you. So when I added those things on there, they're not too bright. They're just so like some 18-watt LEDs, but they're mounted out a little wider, so people notice it, and a little brighter than cheap-ass sealed headlights. And you know, this thing keeps out the rain too. So anyway, man, it's weird because I bought this in September '87, and so September 2017 is going to be 30 years I own this bitch, and it's 32 years old, but I've owned it actually 30 freaking years. It's been up on a lot of different trails and shit like that. It's been out in 3-foot deep snow, and I don't really take it out and that kind of shit no more, but you know, it's good to know that I don't even need the 4-wheel drive with those Firestone Winterfast tires in the back, and you know, the locker, it'll freaking pretty much go through anything. And I got 2 sets of chains in there, Leclerc chains, so plus a come along and a rope and all that other shit. But I ain't taking it out in the trail just for fun and games. But it's always good to have that kind of shit in there, because you know, it's like 99.99% of the time you're driving down the road, you don't get stuck. It's that 1/10 or 1/100% of the time that you do get stuck, and it's a real pain in the ass. You can just put your one wheel off of something and you're stuck. But with that locker, man, no problem. So, but it's a nice quiet ride actually. But yeah, I wish they kept making these damn things. But this was basically the replacement for the Volkswagen in a lot of ways, the old Beetle. In a way, theoretically, on like simplicity, and you know, they didn't change the design much, you know, from like 85, and actually the ones before them, the SJ410s, were pretty much the same thing. 4-speed with a 1000 cc. This is the 5-speed with the 1300 cc. But it was a simple design. I don't like the new Jimneys, man. This is called a Jimny, but it's big. It is the same body as a Samurai, same axles. They're skinnier. They're less wide, but they're same axle width, like diameter. They're less width, you know, this way for traction, you know, the track. But it's a Samurai Jimny, actually. You know, it's an Asian model, so pretty much the same shit, though. It's the one right year before it, but I wasn't much on Japanese stuff at all. It was like, buy USA, buy USA. But I could tell you one thing, this thing, I'm kind of glad I got it, because I probably saved thousands of dollars in gas, and I think this Suzuki probably would have been much more reliable over the years than you know, a CJ5 or CJ7 or something like that, to tell you the truth, even though I hate to say that. The only thing wrong with them is the body's kind of, you know, not that strong, but I got some extra bracing in here, rivets and shit, so it's not too bad. Yeah, I got a shitload of tools over here. I mean, they're kind of like mixed around, but I know where they're at. Boots to fit Confederate cat stuff, and my 2 welders, and let's see. You know, I'm going to tell you something about this, because I'm going to actually put a video on it if there's something else, because tools in here, engine stand, freaking engine hoist, more jack stands. I got the big truck stands, jack stands in there, diesel generator out there, diesel fuel, got about 700 gallons, 800 gallons of diesel fuel too. More tools in here, another gas generator. I'm gonna say, you know what the deal is, and I can't blame the millennials on this, but the millennials today are getting led around by the nose to be helpless for the most part. And you know, this kind of stuff people mock because it's like halfway redneck, but you know, they'll say I'm a redneck or some shit, whatever. You know, I don't know. Being raised 11 miles from New York City doesn't really make me a redneck, but I know redneck stuff. You know, 3.5 horse. What is that? No, 6.5 horse shop vac. That's a monster. But you know, the deal is, you got to know these kind of things. You can click around your freaking cell phone, your apps. You know, you're just gonna, it's not gonna freaking make something happen by magic that way. You might get some electronic BS, and I tell you, there's been a plot all along to take out the toughness from the average American for a long period of time. They always downgrade and degrade this type of stuff, even though I got loads of education. I like doing things like this too, and you know, all the education in the world isn't going to, you know, all the book education from college, university isn't going to do you any good if you don't know how to do this kind of stuff. It really comes to the problem, right? So that's all I got to say about that, and that's why I think the millennials and actually the generation, the boomer generation, which would have been my generation before the millennials, they were led astray. They were definitely led astray. The generation that knew a lot of stuff was the generation that grew up in the 20s and the 30s, and a lot of them are not around anymore. You know, some of them are, but not. You know, they're drawing Social Security. They're not really that all active. Me, I plan to stay extremely healthy and be doing this shit, even if I can, maybe hundreds of years from now, if that's possible. We'll find out. We'll find out. So, imagine meeting a person from the 1700s today that was still alive back then that could tell you everything firsthand what was going on. Well, that's what I plan on doing, man. I'm actually the kid that don't want to fucking, you know, we'll see. We got some crazy, not crazy, but we got some other things on my channel we talk about with longevity. And actually, I don't drop all the hints because some of that stuff is patented. But I know I'm using it. So, if somebody's in their 60s, I could tell you right now, I don't feel like, I feel like I'm in my 20s, to tell you the truth.